What's up? It's Rain. This is a fellow by the name of Arrow Stockings. He's a YouTuber. He's a Panamanian dude. He had his situations. I think it was either 2004 or 2006, somewhere around there. Arrow Stockings was the name I think he called the little BBs or the arrows, and I can't fully remember, but he's a good watch though. I mean, you gotta kind of know what you're looking for, but yeah, he's good. Right in here, there's this bird right in there. See his beak right there, his profile, right there. Right here is Arrow Stockings. Just gonna be me putting a bunch of lines and shit in here, probably. That's what I'm guessing. I bet the house on it. Yeah, there's a bunch of fucking lines. And look at this girl's hair. You can clearly see the face just kind of like, I mean, it's not actually sure if that's before the, I mean, that's probably the hair, but I mean, look how clear that is. Eye, nose, mouth. I'm not sure what race that ultimately is. Like, I'm not actually sure if their eyes are like that, all black because of contacts, or if they're, you know, they wear contacts when they're around this area because of the sun or whatever it is, or if they're, and their eyes are really like that, or if their eyes are just straight all black. But I don't know what the hell that is. It's like a deranged lunatic. This is what I want to look at though. I kept seeing this bird pattern in Arrow Stockings' videos. This bird kept popping up all over the place. So here's this black bird right there. Kind of looks like the, I mean, it's black. It's not the same coloration as the other bird, but same thing. Looking this way. Here's the beak. There he is. But if we go over here, look in the back. See another bird back there. Here's some pictures of that goose I see all the time. The goose or swan. You can see his beak right there. Once again, he's in there too. It's like a goose or swan. I'm not actually sure. That's different than a bird. Like birds, there's never really a distinction of what type of bird it is. It's just bird. You know, just flat out. Everyday friggin' common just bird. That's some type of a specific bird right here. Some type of goose or a duck or swan. I would probably say it's a goose. But that's different than, like, I think in the middle here there's the bird. See, the bird actually is the sphere within this picture. It's hard to see, but there's his beak in there. He's actually the middle. He's actually the orb itself. Here's the goose. Here's China's rover on the moon. I mean, here's the goose right there. You can see the goose. Got it popping out of the soil there. I mean, it appears to be a goose. And then if you go over here, looks like back there might be another goose. Actually tough to see. So if you think about it, what is that? Is this like north? And that's south? You know, and these are the perimeters of whatever land. Probably the land that, I mean, obviously there's these complexes right there. I mean, that's just blatant. And just, there's your doorway, there's your garage or whatever. I mean, these things are just blatantly there, but I was just pointing out the geese. Not necessarily the massively, totally, completely there complex. That's a shot from before. See that guy in there? We got that square head too. I mean, they made this guy with a square head also, but I mean that is. I would probably bet everything I own, which is not much, that they connect somehow. The Easter Island, Moy, and whatever. I mean, technically this would be the first classification, Sumerian Lord Strange, big human alien beings. Can't see it here, but yeah, I end up getting some of the background too. Right here is like a wanderer with a backpack or something. That's how I viewed it, perceived it. Can't really tell that good from my depiction. It was so much better in my mind, man. So yeah, you know, once again, just it's nothing but images on top of images on top of images. I just really wanted to get this one guy right there, and then comparison with the Moy. The BP oil spill that I keep bringing up all the time. Yeah, so I mean, all you gotta do is start putting the pieces together. Like, you know, the complexity of the net theory is incredibly vast to be speaking about that there is a kind of like invisible internet type alien technology that encompasses the entire planet that leaves trails of burnt in images. It's complex, and I guess you could say it's overwhelming too. It's overwhelming, but you know, when you get into Sumerian text and you start to see things from that viewpoint, it's a lot easier than viewing it from the standpoint of we have aliens, you know, from like sci-fi movies, like aliens, you know, green men from Mars or whatever the fuck. And when you start to view things as that, like, oh, they're here to, you know, eradicate the population and all that shit, you know, for you know, like in all the movies and stuff. When you start to get into Sumerian cuneiforms and tablets, and then you start to put the pieces together, that it's not a shock that these beings exist, and it's not like we have no knowledge of their existence. They've married human beings. They've had sons and daughters with human beings. They raised those children like their sons and daughters because they were their sons and daughters. You know, it's a hell of a lot better than looking at it from the standpoint of aliens are out there, motherfucker, and we don't know anything about it, and freaking all this other shit. It's not like we know vast amounts of the Nibirians, but we are familiar with that. They do have a relationship with the human race. It's overwhelming. The modern man, Homo sapien being, coupled with what we perceive as modern technology, very convenient. I'm not really sure the efficiency of it, but it's still continues to build and build and build. Is it because of the human intellect, or is it because of a drip feed technology? I mean, these are all questions that ultimately are asked. But you know, the human race had whatever 100 years. Can you even use the human race as an example though, with knowing such information? That the human race is now going to be used in discussions for barometers of advancement levels of technologies and stuff like that. I mean, it's actually quite difficult to actually use it as an example when given this type of information. But let's just say that the human beings, we lived in an electrical world. I mean, the ancients probably had electricity, but
the coil also worked another one of his new ideas: the lighting of rooms. Here are 2 lighting tubes. No wires, absolutely no supply of power. Now, let's lower the room lights and run up the coil and see what happens to these tubes. Ordinary domestic AC has only 50 or 60 cycles a second. But this is high frequency, where the coil discharges 10,000 times a second. The intense, rapidly changing field around the coil excites the molecules of gas in the tube and makes them glow.
Currently, we had electricity since like 1890 or something like that, or somewhere around that ballpark. It's only like 120 years or something, and to go to a distance of like 500,000, because 500,000, technically it's like 460,000 years is when they touched down on planet Earth. That it's still having the capabilities of a modern society to be able to traverse through the solar system to get to another planet. So that would mean that they have X amount of years of being a highly sophisticatedly technologically advanced race, not just a race that it took, not just a race that is there for whatever time. See what I'm getting at? Like people throw it like they could be millions of years ahead of us, Nick, but like, what do these numbers actually mean? If the human race in 120 years or whatever it is, and it's still problematic to actually use the human race as an example, but in 120 years humans did this, you know, but someplace like New York City and Hong Kong, I mean the cities are just unbelievable. And 120 years. I mean, what is 500,000 years of start making more cuts in the moon. Another bird up there. Another U. I wanted to twist this image though, so you see like the Matrix world that exists. If you start to look in here, you see all like this wiring. It looks like a machine world in there. It's got a really Matrix like feel to it. I'm actually sure the motivations of how the Matrix idea is developed. You can see in there it's really circuity, very bionic, and it's like that with the majority of the pictures. You can even look on nebulas too, and it's always very circuity and very technologically, biologically, or technologically organic. Is that even a word? I'm not even sure, but has that feel a lot when you start to gaze in here. It looks like an old wise man. You know, whenever we have depictions of gods or something ancient or whatever it is, it's always a great bearded older man, older gentleman. See a lot of that. You can see all the circuit veins in here and stuff. I'm not sure if that's the net grid or if it's in the land. This was interesting right here because I perceive this to be a mask. I cut it out well. I tried linking these two together. Not actually sure if they connect though. See, there's the face right there. Kind of does have like a amphibian looking type feel to it, but I'm not sure if those two connect. See, it's got a cut right there, and then these are the lips, and go up in like an amphibian or fish. Thank you.